All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Manny Pacquiao, according to Derrick James, the trainer of Errol Spence, is most certainly a big threat to beat Errol Spence Jr. and that he is dangerous at any age. And we're going to talk in this video exactly why Manny Pacquiao is dangerous for both Errol and Terence Crawford. However, the most important thing is that we're more likely to see this fight with Manny Pacquiao and Errol than we are the Terence Crawford fight. And if you didn't know why, watch the videos that have come out all week. But we're going to talk about all of this in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, man, we are just up on Christmas. This is going to be the last video that I do before I take off and have a good, relaxing time with the family. If I did not have an opportunity to tell you in the live stream today, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and or whatever you celebrate. So, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford are the three champions in the welterweight division. And a lot of people are really wanting to see the Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight. Now, if you are a subscriber to the channel, if you've been watching the videos that I've been doing this week, it's been very heavily centered towards the welterweights, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Sean Porter. This is the first time that we're talking about Manny Pacquiao in it, but you would know that a lot, like the big fight for hardcore boxing fans of welterweight are Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. But that fight's got all kind of handles, all kind of issues with it. One of the issues being that both fighters, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, both want to fight Manny Pacquiao. And they both, even though, you know, Terence Crawford's camp says something about Errol Spence Jr. talking about a Canelo Alvarez fight, Terence Crawford is not trying to fight Errol Spence Jr. next anyway. He says that he prefers Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence says that he wants Manny Pacquiao because he wanted to clean up his side of the street before Manny Pacquiao even got that belt. But Manny Pacquiao, so it's a funny situation, but Manny Pacquiao winds up being, you know, the big money guy in the division for Errol Spence Jr. and for Terence Crawford. But a lot of people like me thought, no, Errol and Terence should both beat him because this dude's 42, 43 years old. Now, as I get constantly reminded, and I was reminded again this time by Derrick James, usually I'm reminded about this by people that I don't like. Because, I mean, you know, I still hold Pacquiao responsible for a lot of the trolling going on during Pacquiao and Mayweather. I just can't help it. His so-called fake fans that ain't around no more used to act like you remember it. Now, Manny Pacquiao's real fans, however, are still around. The phony ones, they're off. You know, I don't know what they're doing. They're probably with the MMA. I don't know. Maybe they retired from faking like they're boxing fans. I don't know. But whatever they did, all the 5 million, what was it, 2 million pay-per-views, all that stuff ended when he lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr. But he's still a very, very big name, still quite a prize for either Terence Crawford or Errol Spence, but he's old. But then Derrick James said, no, man, this guy is a real threat. And I was reminded, like I said, that Manny Pacquiao has a way of proving me wrong. Now, well before I had a channel, I was watching Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was young. Manny Pacquiao, I think the reason why Manny Pacquiao fooled me when he was like at 130 pounds, the brief time, 126, 130, you know, when he was Manny Pacquiao, little Manny, you know, little Manny. I always underestimated his athleticism. This guy is an absolutely ridiculous athlete. The things that he does, he's kind of like Deontay Wilder in a way, in that some of the things that he does, he should get caught a lot more often. But because he's just such a tremendous athlete that I think he can get away with a lot of stuff. Even, and I'm not talking about necessarily just the power, okay? Because I think people can attribute the power at the higher weight classes to, some other things. But the speed, the athleticism, the ability just to be throwing all those punches and jumping angles and doing the stuff that he he used to do a lot more than he does now, but even now he can do in spurts. That was just a lot of talent. So when Manny Pacquiao was younger, I was often proved wrong because of his talent. Like, I thought he was going to lose I thought he was going to lose Eric Morales the first time. He did. I thought he'd lose the second time. He didn't, right? But you get my point. So early on, it was the talent that kind of got me. But that's gone. Not gone, completely gone. But now when he got older, like, say, the thing that got me with the Terence, where I was wrong, because I've only been wrong a few times with Manny Pacquiao, truthfully. But I was wrong about the Keith Thurman because I just bet, nah, man, you're going to be too old. But I underestimated in this particular instance, I think that I underestimated what he gained from all the mega fights and tough fights and legendary fighters, Hall of Fame fighters that he's fought over these last 4 decades of fighting, right? So now he's this guy that really does he was always an excellent athlete, and he probably still, in spurts, a better athlete than 95% of boxers. And, well, 90% of all athletes. He's really was a tremendous athlete. But as far as his athleticism, speed, quickness, all of that. But when you combine experience with that talent and the skill, well, skill is there too, obviously. Well, then you see how they can go about the little things that they can do to pull out rounds, and get the eyes of the judges' scorecards. If the younger fighters getting aggressive, learning how to bluff them, make them think one thing, just outthinking the circumstance, getting that old man game. Like when you're a basketball player and you're playing on the park against young kids that are just too athletic or very, very athletic, they're jumping and running, and you just kind of spotlight him and realize, he's very athletic, but he can't dribble with his left hand very well, so I'm just going to sit on his right hand and cause him a lot of problems, right? I'm not going to defend him going that way. I'm just going to let him go that way if that's what it is. Or I'm just going to make him shoot a jumper because he can't shoot. I'm not going to just guard everything and keep him from doing anything that he wants to do, like I might have done when I was young, and expend all that energy. So Manny Pacquiao has that level of experience now and has had it for a while. So I do think that is what more than anything else makes him very, more dangerous. Now, when Derrick James says that he believes that he's definitely dangerous, he's definitely a threat, that's not the same thing as saying he believes that Manny Pacquiao is going to actually beat Errol Spence Jr. or that Manny Pacquiao is actually going to beat Errol Spence or going to beat Terence Crawford. I am going to continue being wrong about Manny Pacquiao, okay? Because I believe Manny Pacquiao's age is going to catch him eventually, and I am eventually going to be right. So I'm just going to stay the course that eventually, the amount of talent that he has, right, which could be defined as his skill and his athletic attributes combined, that is going to wane enough where all the experience in the world is not going to save him from somebody that is just as experienced, or not just as experienced, but somebody that is very experienced, like Errol Spence, who's also been in there with a lot of world champions and great fighters in tough situations. He's somebody that's experienced in that regard, and he is definitely in his prime. Terence, I think, is somebody that may have even more athletic ability than Manny Pacquiao had, or maybe more, and yeah, I would think more athleticism maybe than Errol Spence Jr. has. Terence Crawford is that athletic. Whether or not he's had the competition and learned how to fight through tough, close fights, that's something else. But hopefully we'll actually get to see this, and it won't just, be us talking about it. But if it is us talking about it, look, man, it's boxing. That's what you got to do until these guys decide that they're going to get together and get in the ring. But anyway, I appreciate you talking about boxing with me. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram. And with that, I'm out. Peace.